brought to you by the Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club. I'm Pat Buzza, and I will be describing some of the action for you tonight, and Jerry Reyes will be operating the camera. This amateur boxing event is being brought to you by River City's Public Access. There are 9 bouts on tonight's card, featuring 5 boxers from the Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club. Each bout will be 3 2-minute rounds, except for one ladies' bout, which will have 1.5-minute rounds. The first fight of the night will feature Andy Jackson from Manistee, Michigan, against Nick Streamer from Oshkosh.
In the red corner, boxing from the Manistee Boxing Club, Andy Jackson. And in the blue corner, from the Oshkosh Boxing Club, Nick Streamer.
These 2 fighters are in the heavyweight division with a weight limit of 201 pounds. The next division up is a super heavyweight division, and we'll be seeing one of those bouts later on tonight. And round 1 begins. Andy Jackson out of the red corner, Nick Streamer out of the blue. Nick Streamer from Oshkosh, throwing a couple 1-2s in there, trying to score. The white part of the glove must score on in the opponent's scoring area in order to score a point. There will be 3 judges scoring each bout tonight. They will be either scoring for the red or the blue corner, therefore no draws in amateur boxing. Each boxer is sizing up the other right now. Streamer, the more active of the 2 fighters, scoring on a couple 1-2s to the head and a nice flurry to the body that's going to impress the judges. Another right hand that seemed to connect by Streamer. Streamer backs Jackson into the corner now. Streamer controlling the action here in the fight, whereas he scores with another nice right hand. Nick Streamer's controlling the fight. Referee Dick Hannon gives a standing 8 count to Andy Jackson. In amateur boxing, the boxer must respond by the time the referee gets to 8, otherwise he will be disqualified. And round 1 ends. Looked like a good round for Nick Streamer from my point of view. I would say an easy round to score for the judges. In amateur boxing, 3 clean blows to a scoring area usually constitute 1 point.
And then gets the count of 8, even though the boxer has not been knocked down. This standing 8 count means no more than 1 clean scoring blow, and the judges have been so instructed to score accordingly. 3 standing 8 counts in 1 round will end the bout. As safety is stressed, not really punching power.
The 3 judges scoring the fights are all on different sides of the ring. And so that they get a different view. The referee will not obscure any points scored. Therefore, each judge works alone, and they assess the scoring value of each blow as it occurs, and mentally they award points to the boxer. Streamer comes out and backs Mr. Jackson up into the ropes again. Streamer with the crisper, shorter punches is keeping his hands up inside, protecting his head, throwing some shorter punches. Streamer is definitely aggressive in this round as he was in the first. Still throwing some nice 1-2s and scoring with them. About so far, one side in favor of Streamers. Out of the blue corner. Jackson comes back, gets Bremer in the corner. However, his punches are getting a little wild. Gives the opponent more time to see him coming and more time to counter with a straighter punch that Bremer seems to be throwing right now. There's another good right hand. Caught the headgear, but there's one on the jaw. Loses the mouthpiece. Referee Dick Hanneman will stop the fight. The top timekeeper will stop the time. We'll wash it off, and then we'll get going again. A lot of action by the two fighters. Nick Streamer having his way so far with Andy Jackson from Manistee, Streamer from Oshkosh. Jackson scores with a nice left hand. However, his hands are getting a little wild. Streamer backs him up into the corner. Able to score with a couple right hands. Ooh, there was a backhand. That's illegal in amateur boxing. Referees will jump on that right now. Referee Dick Hanneman from Marshall gives him a warning. That's the end of round 2. One more 2-minute round to go for fighters Andy Jackson from Manistee, Michigan, and Nick Streamer from Oshkosh. Mr. Streamer seeming to have his way so far in the first 2 rounds. A judge's yardstick is 3 blows to a point. In other words, if a fighter scores 6 clean blows to the other fighter's 3 clean blows, he should have a 1-point advantage. And the referee keeps that count mentally in his head. So after 3 clean blows, the referee will say 1 extra point for the fighter with the most clean blows. And the scoring blow must be clean, it must be fair, and must be unguarded. In other words, it shouldn't deflect off of a glove, or it should be a good clean blow, and it should have the proper force behind it. In other words, love taps don't count, and the blow also has to be with the white part of the glove. Knockdowns are scored as just 1 clean blow in amateur boxing versus professional boxing, where you assess damage done also. Streamer now with a left hook to the side of Jackson's head. Jackson trying to get a little more aggressive in this round. I'm sure upon advice from his corner. Jackson knows that he's got to come out swinging in this round, and he is. A little wild, but he's got Bremer backed up into the corner. Bremer trying to maintain his poise now, using that left hand. Bremer's starting to get wild. Sometimes that happens when fighters get a little tired. They tend to open up a little more. Punches aren't as straight, aren't as crisp. Makes them also more vulnerable. Both fighters, though, despite the fatigue, they're flailing away. Referee Dick Hanneman calls a break. Ooh, a nice right hand by Mr. Jackson, right on Mr. Bremer's jaw. Both fighters showing their fatigue. Their hands slow down, their punches don't have the force behind, their legs start to go. Jackson goes down, but referee Dick Hanneman calls a slip. He actually tripped a little bit on Bremer's feet, I believe. That happens too when you get tired. Jackson's still throwing punches, though, to his credit. You can see as Bremer gets fatigued, his punches are getting wider. Led with his head a little bit, that could be a foul sometimes. Both fighters showing their fatigue as it gets near the end of the bout. Both fighters spent the crowd give roars of approval. Nice hand for Andy Jackson from Manistee, Michigan, and Nick Streamer from Oshkosh. And now we await the judge's decision. Like I said, there cannot be any draws in amateur boxing. Each judge has the score for one fighter or the other. If a tie score does occur, say if a judge can't decide which fighter that he wants to score the bout for, he scores the fight for, or he actually circles the name of the fighter who showed more aggressiveness and the better style. If he still can't decide, then he must choose which boxer had the better defense, and then that boxer is awarded the decision. Each round, judges score 20 points for the winner, and then the other boxer can have 19 points or less. There could be a 19-19 score in a round, say if the winning boxer of the round had a point deducted for an infraction. But Nick Streamer, your winner, out of the blue corner from Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Nick had better defense. He showed more poise in the ring. He threw shorter, crisper, straighter punches. The shortest distance from point A to B is a straight line, and that's what won it for Mr. Streamer. Next up, we'll have bout number 2. Logan Hilgers out of the Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club will be making his amateur fight debut. Logan, coached by his father, Kenny Hilgers, will be fighting in the 156-pound weight class. His opponent will be Carlos Molina of the Soaring Eagle Boxing Club. Carlos, the more experienced of the two fighters, of course, as this is Logan's inaugural bout.
The bout of the evening will be in the 156-pound division. In the red corner, from the Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club, Logan Hilgers. Representing the Soaring Eagles Boxing Club from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Carlos Molina.
As I said, this is Logan Hilgers' first fight. He's been in the gym training with his father and other coaches for, well, a couple years on and off. But Logan Hilgers getting in the ring for the first time against Carlos Molina, Soaring Eagle Boxing Club. Logan trying to use his long left jab. Looks like he has a reach advantage. Carlos, though, with pretty good defense, keeping his gloves in tight, close to his head. Logan with a lot of movement. Molina, the shorter of the two boxers, looks like he's going to try to bob and weave, get inside a little bit, and throw a couple of hooks to Logan. Logan's going to try to throw some straight punches and punch from the outside. Carlos, though, does a good job, showing his experience, I think, getting inside on Logan. Logan, though, showing some pretty good footwork in the ring, using the whole ring, trying to use that left jab and that reach advantage. It's like Logan's headgear is starting to go down over his eyes a little bit. Molina getting inside with that, bobbing and weaving. Molina showing a lot of poise in the ring. I guess Logan's headgear is okay. Molina definitely wants to fight Logan inside. Logan definitely wants to fight from the outside. Molina scoring with some nice hooks inside. Logan's going to try to get back in and get his jab working. 1-2 blocked by Molina. Molina comes back with a nice left hook. Not quite within range, though. Logan doing a good job with his reach advantage, using the whole ring to his advantage. Here comes Molina back inside, though. Definitely a contrast in styles in this bout. And Molina scores with a nice flurry at the end of round 1. Not too bad for Logan Hilgers' first round in amateur boxing. Logan is a senior at Nakusa High School, and like I said, coached by his father, Ken Hilgers.
Affordable living, training area comfort level, Charlie's, Puppy Tots, Donahue Farm, Fish Supply, Reynolds, USA Today, Heading West, James Discipline, BDS, Jerry's Meat and Tackle, Keep House Builders, Carsey's Landscaping, McDonald's and Langfield Cycle.
And maybe you heard the 10-second whistle blow. That means corners must get their fighter ready, get the stool out of the ring, get ready to go. Molina back inside on Logan Hilgers, throwing those short hooks. So far, it's been a replay of round one. Molina trying to get inside, throw the short hooks on Logan. Logan trying to use the whole ring in his footwork and his long jab, and score from the outside. First half of the bout, though, Carlos Molina, the Missouri Negro Boxing Club, definitely showing his experience. This is the type of fight you expect, though, when you got a tall fighter versus a shorter fighter. I think Coach Hilgers is going to be telling Logan in the corner that when Molina comes inside, he's got to get those gloves up. Molina's going to hook. There's an uppercut. He just proved me wrong. Mr. Molina's got all the shots. And round number 2 ends. Almost a carbon copy of the first. With Logan trying to use the whole ring and his long arms and his reach advantage. Molina trying to get inside, throw those hooks. We saw Molina throw a couple uppercuts in that second round. He scored with at least one of them.
River City Tap, Romano's Pizzeria, Safeway Bus Transit, State Farm Agent Richard A. Byrne, Terry's Apple, Way Out Car, Wisconsin Valley Concrete, and Ace Hardware.
You can probably hear Mr. Lauren Bailey on the PA in the background. Lauren is a World War II veteran. He's a Pearl Harbor survivor, and he's a 1953 Wisconsin State Golden Gloves champ. Lauren's been a boxing official and a ringside announcer for 25 years. He's known as the voice of Central Wisconsin boxing. Good old Lauren Bailey, back for another night of Central Wisconsin boxing. Round 3 begins. Logan's gonna have to score big here. Both fighters seem to be in pretty good condition so far in the bout. They haven't lost their form. As you saw in the first bout, when fighters got fatigued and they started flailing. Standing 8 count for Logan. Carlos got inside on Logan, caused some damage. Referee Dick Hannum says, let's take a break. We'll give you a standing 8 count. Get your bearings, counter is a point, and get back to the action. Carlos is going to work on Logan right now, scoring with those hooks inside. Come on, Logan, get out of the corner, buddy. Okay, use your feet and your jab, Logan. Carlos Molina, very poised and experienced fighter, it looks like. And that's the end of the bout. Logan Yogers in his first boxing bout ever, making a pretty good account of himself against an obviously experienced and polished Carlos Molina from Soaring Eagle Boxing Club. And we'll wait for the judge's decision. In the meantime, we'd like to thank these area businesses for supporting the Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club. Affordable Roofing, The Branding Iron, Charlie's, Country Tots, Downing's Bar, First Supply, Grandma's USA Cafe, Headin' West, James Esselman, DDS, Jerry's Bait and Tackle, Keith Goetz Vendors, Krause's Landscaping, McDonald's in Nakusa, Neinfeld Cycle, Out of Town Browns, ProLube, and Rainbow Casino. And here comes the decision.
The winner knocks out the corner.
Probably heard Mr. Bailey give the decision. The three judges voted for Carlos Molina out of the blue corner. Next up, a couple more heavyweights with the 201-pound weight limit. Dan Reed from Madison versus Nick Phil out of the Oshkosh Boxing Club. This time, Oshkosh will be in the blue corner again, I do believe. The inspector for tonight's bout is Denny Sprague from Oshkosh. His wife, Bobby Sprague, is tonight's timekeeper.
Getting right forward from Muscles and Fitness Gym at Madison, Wisconsin, Dan Reed. And in the blue corner, from the Oshkosh Boxing Club, Nick Wilsey.
So Dan Reed from Madison and Nick Phil from Oshkosh. Dan Reed out of the Madison Club is coached by Steve Zowski, formerly of Wisconsin Rapids. Steve fought out of central Wisconsin, then he moved to Massachusetts. Steve also had a nice professional boxing career. Now, many people can't say this, but Steve Zowski fought 5 former world champions. Steve Zowski in the Madison corner. I'll get back to that after this round. I'll tell you who he fought. You won't believe it. Dan Reed from Madison with a little bit of a size advantage over Nick Phil from Oshkosh. Both fighters throwing with some flurries in there, both connecting. One of the obvious differences, of course, between professional and amateur boxing, and there are many, but amateur boxers wear headgear. The objective in amateur boxing is not to do damage, it's to score points. Amateur boxing is truly the sweet science. Nice little flurry when punches go fast and quick like that and they're scoring, makes it even harder to judge. Flurry seemed to be pretty even so far. Phil had Reed backed into the corner a little while. Phil being the aggressor in that part of the round. There's a nice right hand by Mr. Reed. Caught Mr. Phil flush on the left cheek. And that ends round one. You can see Mr. Zowski in the ring talking to his fighter. Steve Zowski fought 5 world champions, as I said. He fought heavyweight champs Tony Tubbs, Tommy Morrison. He fought Mike Tyson. Steve fought heavyweight champ George Foreman, and he also fought light heavyweight champ Leroy Murphy. And Steve also had a televised bout with Joe Frazier's son. A lot of you might remember Marvis Frazier. Maybe some of you saw that fight. But Steve Zowski had quite a few pro fights and fought some very, very memorable opponents. So Steve's been involved in boxing for quite a few years. He lives in Madison now and he's training boxers in the Madison area. Good for Steve Zowski. Steve's boxer, Dan Reed, comes out and looks like he's trying to establish the jab. Does have a little bit of a reach advantage. Nice 1-2. The right hand landed for Dan Reed. Only the white part of the glove can score, as I said earlier. That prevents slapping, prevents the strings from hitting the fighter, prevents backhands. And the referees are very strict about it. Another nice right hand by Dan Reed. He's got his 1-2 working right now. Looks like he got some good instruction in the corner between rounds as he seems to straighten his punches out a little bit. He's got his hands closer to the head. He's got them closer together. He's throwing straighter punches. Another nice left jab by Mr. Reed. Phil now with a flurry as Reed backed up into a corner. Mr. Hanneman says, Mr. Reed, you're not fighting back. We're going to give you a standing 8 count. I'm going to look at your eyes. I'm going to see if you respond. Everything's fine. Bout continues. A good flurry by Nick Phil from Oshkosh. Dan Reed looked like he was controlling the first half of that round. Then Thrill came over and scored a couple points probably in the judge's eyes. Reed now back in the corner again. Mr. Reed was throwing some nice straight punches, keeping his hands together early in the round. Looked like he might have suffered a little bit from the fatigue factor. He got a little wild, and Nick Phil took advantage of it. Needle Road, Art Institute of Food, Quality Foods IGA, Rapids Beverage Supply, Roger Brown Auto Body, Brown's Auto Body, Side Roads, Sunset Farm, UDP Incorporated, Northeastern Motors, Western Insurance, the Rights Camp and Champ. There are 4 referees for tonight's bout, of which 3 of them score a bout, 1 sits out. They're Don Hansen from Unity, Patty Pliner from Janesville, Marlene Summers from Green Bay, and Ed Peckney from Juneau, down in Dodge County. Begin round 3. Pretty even fight so far, from our point of view anyway. I think Mr. Reed controlled the first half of the fight, and Dan Phil's starting to come back in the second half of the fight. Phil now, the busier of the 2 opponents, scoring to Mr. Reed's face. Nice stiff left hand by Nick Phil from Oshkosh. Dan Reed trying to keep his composure, score with some 1-2s, use his reach like he did earlier in the fight. Nice combination by Dan Reed. Now this is the part of the round in round 2 where Dan Thill in the blue took over. It looks like Mr. Reed is starting to tire again in round 3. Got some blood coming out of his nose. Mr. Hanneman looking in Dan Reed's eyes. If there's any blaze, he's probably going to stop the fight. Dan Reed's punch is starting to get a little wide now again. Still manages to score a couple points in there, score a couple blows. Now, Mr. Phil now scoring with the left and the right. As Dan Reed back to the corner, now Reed dances out. Phil with a nice right hand to Reed's head. Not many body blows thrown in this bout. Matter of fact, there hasn't been any. They're both headhunters. And that's the end of the fight. Both fighters hug, congratulate the corners, and it's in the judges' hands. We'd like to thank these area businesses for supporting the Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club in the card tonight. River City Tap, Romano's Pizzeria, Safeway Bus Transit, State Farm Agent Richard A. Burnt, Terry's Amico, B-Skis, Way Out Bar, Wisconsin Valley Concrete, Ace Hardware, Beavers, CarQuest, Colonial Appraisal Service, Domtar, Exhaust Pros, and Goose's Pub. You can see referee Dick Hannum going around and collecting the cards from the judges. Then they go to the chief of officials, Jim Horn. He makes sure that each card is filled out correctly and hands it next door to Lauren Bailey, who will announce the winner. Chief of Officials Jim Horn is from Menominee Falls.
The winner knocks out the blue corner.
Nick Dill, your winner out of the blue corner.
Was Bob Lynch, the manager of the world champion Eric Morrow, from Muscles to Fitness Boxing Club of Madison, Wisconsin.
Well, so far tonight, the first 3 bouts are any indication, the place to fight out of is the blue corner. As the blue corner has won the first 3 bouts. Nick Streamer won out of the blue corner from Oshkosh over Andy Jackson in our first bout. Second bout, Carlos Molina from Soaring Eagle outboxed Logan Hilgers from Nakusa, who was in his first bout. And one we just saw, Nick Thill from Oshkosh fought out of the blue corner and beat Dan Reed from Madison. Next up, a couple of 147 pounders. Two gals will go at it. They will fight 1.5-minute rounds. Sienna Bowman from Wisconsin Rapids will be in the red corner. Casey Weigel from Peshtigo will be in the blue corner. Come on, Sienna. Let's break that blue corner jinx. This is
in the red corner from the Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club, Sienna Bowman. And in the blue corner from the Peshtigo Boxing Club, Cassie Weigel.
Cassie Weigel versus Wisconsin Rapids' Sienna Bowman. This is Sienna's second fight. She had her first fight last weekend. She lost a decision, so this is Sienna's second fight. Cassie Weigel from Peshtigo is an experienced fighter, so Sienna's going to have her hands full. Both girls with their hands protecting them, trying to throw straight punches, trying to keep their chin down. Sienna fighting out a little bit of crouch. In a protective stance, throwing some nice combinations there and scoring to Cassie's face. Nice little flurry by Sienna, and only her second bout against a more experienced fighter. Sienna is an 18-year-old senior at Lincoln High School. She's a standout soccer player on the Lincoln High School soccer team and will be going to University of Minnesota next year. Sienna is also an honor student at Lincoln High School, so good for Sienna Bowman. Now we got to get her some points here in this match. Round one of this minute-and-a-half first round. Sienna scoring inside. Good job, Sienna. Come on. Good job by the ladies. Sienna Bowman, in only her second fight, looked like she kept her composure really good in that first round. She can have two more rounds like that. She'll make good strides. Good for Sienna. I'd have to give Sienna an edge in that round against a more experienced fighter. But I'm watching the fight, not judging it. Sometimes that makes a difference. Sienna getting her instructions by Coach Calvin Anderson. Calvin is a former boxer from Port Edwards. Calvin had a very, very good amateur career, won a lot of fights, went to the Junior Nationals at least once in Detroit, Michigan. Round two begins. Cassie trying to open up a little bit. Sienna, though, pretty aggressive. Protecting herself and throwing some nice straight punches so far. Nice punch in the body by Sienna. Come on, Sienna. Sienna's been the aggressor so far in the fight, and that'll look good in the judges' eyes. Cassie Weigel scoring a couple points. Sienna trying to punch to the body. Judges will take note of that, I'm sure. So far, Cassie's been a headhunter. Sienna's been throwing to the head and the body. Sienna with another right hand to the body. Sienna's causing the action so far. She's backing Cassie Weigel up. Sienna looks to be in better shape right now. Looks like a warning for some type of infraction against Cassie Weigel. Good second round for
Lincoln High School senior Wisconsin Rapids fighter Sienna Bowman. Definitely advantage in that round to Sienna Bowman. Sienna looks to be in better condition right now. Probably some of that is from working out at Rapids Health and Fitness, and a lot to do with playing a lot of soccer. Sienna also formerly played some girls hockey at Lincoln High School. So Sienna looks to be in better condition than the two fighters right now, and is taking advantage of it. One more good round like that, and Sienna's got her first victory. Referee Dick Hannon is from Marshfield. He fought out of the Gus Gym for many years. He also fought 6 fights for University of Wisconsin Stevens Point. Point had a boxing team in 1975. That was the only year they had it. And referee Dick Hannon happened to be the state heavyweight champ that year. So another minute and a half to go for Sienna Bowman. Cassie Weigel being a little more aggressive this round, I mean. Referee Dick Hannon warns Cassie Weigel for using her shoulder inside. Sienna going to the body again, that looks good. Cassie Weigel head hunting. Sienna scoring down underneath her, but nice right hand by Cassie Weigel. Sienna comes back with a right hand of her own, and Weigel counters with another right. Both fighters showing some fatigue now, halfway through round 3. Sienna now backing Cassie Weigel up against the ropes. That looked good for Cassie Weigel now. Hands on her hip, she's tired. Come on, Sienna. Finish strong, Sienna, the fight's yours. Nice little 2 right hands by Cassie Weigel. The only score is 2 punches landed, though. Sienna warned to keep her head up. Come on, Sienna, score a couple more times. The bout's yours. And the crowd gives the 2 ladies a hand. They put on a great fight. I was talking to Coach Hilgers before the bout, and he thought that Sienna was probably going to be the underdog in this fight. But Sienna made a good account of herself, and quite frankly, I think might have won the fight. So it's in the judges' hands, and we'll see. Let's also take a moment to thank these area businesses for supporting the Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club in the card tonight. Happy Sleeper, Homestead, Jeff's Radiator Service, Karate America, Kelly's Liquor Store, M&W Fiberglass, Napa, Nita Brew, Park Institute of Taekwondo, and Quality Foods, IGA. Now we'll have the decision. Referee Dick Hammond congratulated both girls on a good fight.
The winner, boxed out of the red corner.
Wow. Nice job, Sienna. Sienna Bowman, only her second fight, wins a hard-fought decision over Casey Weigel. So she not only won her first fight, she broke that blue corner jinx. Good job, Sienna Bowman. The next bout will feature another fighter fighting out of the Wisconsin Rapids gym. In the 139-pound class, it will feature Mike Thunder from Wisconsin Rapids. His opponent will be Brendan Connor from Marshfield.
Mike's had about 5 bouts so far in his amateur boxing career.
Will be in the 139-pound division. 88 corner from the Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club, Mike Thunder. And from the Squared Circle Boxing Club of Peshtigo, Wisconsin, Brendan Connor.
In talking to Coach Hilgers earlier, he said that, or actually it probably was Coach Anderson, or maybe Coach Oligny, they said that look for Mike to be pretty aggressive. He's got a nice left hook, so we'll see if he can use that to his advantage. The 147-pound weight class. A couple of novice fighters. As I said, I think this is Mike's 6th bout. Nice bob and weave inside. Mike came up with a nice left hook. Mr. Connor would have felt that. Ooh, a couple nice uppercuts. Mike Thunder showing some pretty quick hands. A little short on the jabs, but they're purpose jabs. Mike trying to slip inside, come up with those hooks. Showing a little better style between the two fighters so far. Both fighters showing a lot of defense. There's been some opportunities to score, but most of them have been blocked. Mike with a lot of head movement. There's a nice 1-2 by Mike Thunder. Definitely scoring blows there. Ooh, nice uppercut by Mike. Mike's thrown about half a dozen uppercuts. That looks good for the judges. He scored on a few of them too. I'd say nice round 1 for Mike Thunder, Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club. Earlier I said they were 147-pounders. They're actually fighting out of the 139-pound weight class. I'd like to also thank these area businesses for supporting the Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club and the card tonight. Rapids Rental and Supply, Roger Brown Auto Body, Ron's Auto Body, Side Roads, the Sunrise Bar, UDP Incorporated, Borzinski Motors, Westland Insurance, Wright Cap and Cap. There's the 10-second whistle you probably heard. Seconds out, referee will say. In round number 2, Mike Thunder wearing yellow out of the red corner versus Brendan Connor out of Marshfield. Nice job of footwork by Mike, just getting out of the range of that little flurry and trying to come back with a counter of his own. Both these fighters obviously with some experience in the ring. Mike showing some pretty good hands. Got some quick counters. Nice combination by Mike. Connor comes back. Punches were blocked by Mike Thunder.
Connor went downstairs, scored to the body. Nice right hand by Mike. Both fighters appear to be in pretty good shape. They're keeping their composure pretty well in the ring. And round two's in. Looks like a pretty even round there. As I said earlier, you must score with the white parts of your gloves. You don't see that in professional boxing. There's a lot of dirty tactics involved, and rules aren't followed quite as strictly as they are in amateur boxing. And always in amateur bouts, you will see that the scoring area of the glove will be white, and that's what you must use. And it's white for obvious reasons. That's so that the judges can see the punch scoring. Not only is referee Dick Hanneman a former good boxer, Dick fought in the heavyweight division, as I mentioned, and was a southpaw. He's been reffing for many years, and when Dick Hanneman referees a bout, you know it's going to be a good, clean, fair bout. Does a nice job in the ring. Round three gets underway. The boxers touch glove, which is traditional. I think each corner probably told their fighter that if they win this round, they got a good chance of winning the fight. But winning this round is probably a must. Mike Thunder's a little quicker than two fighters. Throws a nice one, too, and scores. Ooh, another right hand by Mike Thunder. Might have just grazed Connor's headgear. Nice left hook inside from Mike Thunder. Mike Thunder does a little better job with his distance control. He's in and out, back and forth. A little better at slipping punches than Mr. Connor. Comes out of them throwing them hooks. A little more ring generalship for Mr. Thunder, in my opinion. Appears to be scoring a little more in this fight. I hope the judges see it the same way. Sometimes a fighter, he will show a sense of urgency in the ring, and it could be where Mr. Connor is right now. He knows he's got to win the round. But Mike Thunder still fighting the way he did in round number 1 and 2. Another nice slip inside, come up with a left hook. Nice textbook stuff for Mike Thunder. That was a nice boxing match by two novice fighters. Novice meaning they haven't won a novice state championship. Mike Thunder from Wisconsin Rapids out of the red corner. Brandon Connor out of the blue corner. A nice demonstration in the art of the sweet science. Well, it's in the hands of the judges now. We'll see what they come up with. Wayne Brown is a longtime member of the Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club. Fought for Flossie Gust, fought out of the Wisconsin Rapids. He's in attendance tonight. Has had a lot to do with the Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club. Wayne is a two-time state champion. He's a former member of a nationally renowned Milwaukee Bomber boxing team. Wayne had 60 amateur bouts, and he's been a head boxing coach in Wisconsin Rapids for 17 years. And Wayne's been invited twice
to the Colorado Springs Olympic Training Center as a coach and a personal mentor to many Wisconsin Rapids young men. So good to see him wait at the ground tonight. Probably heard Mr. Lauren Bailey announce that Mike Thunder out of the red corner in Wisconsin Rapids, the victor in our 5th bout of the night. So nice job, Mike Thunder. Good ring generalship, good defense, good distance control, and definitely scored more points. So the judges saw it the same way that we did up here. Good match for Mike Thunder.
Sienna.
Madison, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Ken Nelson. And a little honor from the Peshtigo Boxing Club of Peshtigo, Wisconsin, Nate Wilsey.
If you couldn't hear Mr. Bailey, the 6th bout of the evening is about ready to begin after a short intermission. The combatants will be 139-pounders. Ken Nelson from Milwaukee and Nate Wilsey from Peshtigo. Ken Nelson is in the black trunks and out of the red corner. Wilsey is backing Nelson up against the ropes, beginning of the fight. Nelson with a couple of uppercuts that were blocked by Nelson. Excuse me, Nelson with the uppercuts that were blocked by Wilsey. Nelson backing up, trying to get his distance, trying to use his jab, set up a combination. Wilsey doing the lead, Nelson doing the countering so far, and early in round 1. Nice little flurry in the corner by Wilsey. Nelson gets a little over aggressive. Gets a little bit of a stare from referee Dick Annam. Nelson looks like he wants to fight with his hands a little low and use his reflexes and his quick jab to try to start a combination, score some points. So far, plenty of action, but not a lot of scoring so far here early in the first round. 3 2-minute rounds for these 139-pounders. And a couple of quick scoring punches at the end of round number 1 by Nate Wilsey of Peshtigo. Got a nice crowd here at Nakusa High School, and there's a lot of expenses involved in having a boxing card such as this. Quite frankly, if a club breaks even, they probably had a pretty good night. You have to rent the ring, and in every instance with the Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club, the ring is rented from Squared Circle Boxing Club out of Marshfield. And the boxing club also has to rent the gymnasium that they hold a bout in this case, Nakusa High School Gymnasium. The host boxing club has to get the plaques and the trophies. And in today's case, they also fed the fighters after they weighed in. So if we break even tonight, it's a good night for the Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club. But the main thing is to give these young amateur boxers some experience, and this is how it's done. Round 2 begins. Wilsey still the aggressor. Nelson doing some counter punching.
Wilsey probably looking pretty good in the eyes of the judges so far. I think he scored a little more, but he's definitely been the aggressor. Nelson warned by Mr. Hammond for keeping his head down. Can't lower your head in amateur boxing like you kid in professional boxing. You have to keep it up, provide a scoring area for your opponent. Wilsey looks like he scored on Nelson's headgear at least, with 3 or 4 wide punches. Wilsey getting a little wild, but Nelson with his quick feet staying out of range. Nelson, though, not scoring while he's backing up. Well, he's not giving up any points. He's not scoring any either. Nice jab by Wilsey from Peshtigo. Right hand scored by Wilsey. Another right hook by Wilsey. Looked like it scored. Nelson trying to throw in a couple straight punches inside. Blocked by Wilsey. Wilsey with a wild right hand that Nelson, with his quick reflexes, was able to duck out of the way of. And that ends round number 2. Looked to me like a round similar to number 1. Nate Wilsey out of the blue corner looked like to be the aggressor. He led most of the flurries. Nelson seemed to be satisfied to try counterpunching. Try to stay out of the way and use his counterpunches, but from my point of view, Wilsey won the first 2 rounds. We'll see what the judges have to say, though. It's not easy to score a fight when you're coaching it or watching it or announcing it. In the old days, the referee used to have a hand in scoring, but I think they finally came to their senses and said the referee's got his hands full just trying to referee the bout. Let's not make him score it also. Ten-second whistle. Referees get out of the ring. Mr. Hammond says this is round 3. They touch gloves ceremonially, and away we go. Wilsey again doing the leading in round number 3. Nice counter left hook off of a nice slip by Mr. Nelson to the right side of Wilsey's jaw. Here Nelson tried to lead with a left hook. Didn't score. Wilsey stalking. He's in the traditional footwork. He's got his left shoe untied, but uppercut by Nelson that was partially blocked by Wilsey. And referee Dick Hammond sees the shoelace untied and says, go back to your corner, son, and have your corner tie your shoelace, and we'll get the rest of this 3rd round underway. Mr. Nelson had to go to a neutral corner. Mr. Hammond went with the fighter over by his coach to make sure that there was no coaching during the timeout. That being equal, they're back to fighting. Right hook scored by Wilsey. Wilsey getting a little wild. His punches are getting pretty wide. Nelson trying to counter. Two or three uppercuts, all blocked by Wilsey. Heard the crowd road, but they were blocked by his forearms and elbow. Left and a right by Wilsey and a left. Nelson comes back with a couple short hooks inside, and that's the end of the fight.
I'm not going to guess as the outcome. We'll leave this into the hands of the judges. But we'll take a stab. We'll go with the blue corner. Jerry Reyes doing a nice job here on the video. It's just like watching an HBO bout on TV. Referee Dick Hammond checks over the cards, make sure that they're filled out properly. The winner has to be circled on this card. The judges has to score the bout sheet. Everything has to be in order. Then they're handed over to the Chief of Officials, Jim Horn, where he'll look them over again. He'll check the winner, hand him over to announcer Lauren Bailey. Amateur boxing, despite the fact that the object is to hit your other opponent, is probably one of the safest amateur sports that you can get involved in. Rules are strictly enforced. There's a lot of safety measures, the headgear, the padded gloves.
Box up in the blue corner.
And just what we thought, Nate Wilsey out of the Peshtigo Boxing Club in the blue corner wins the bout. It's one of the only amateur sports in which you have a physical before every competition. The officials tonight were given by Dr. Fred Perryman, and the ringside position tonight, as every boxing match has to have a ringside physician, excuse me. The ringside official is Dr. David Friends, MD from Marshfield.
Boxing personalities that have kept boxing alive in the central Wisconsin area for the last 30 years. I'd like to make my first presentation to Lauren Bailey, a World War II veteran, Earl Boxing survivor, 1953 Wisconsin State Golden Ball Tribe, heavyweight champion, 25 years boxing official, ringside announcer, the official voice of central Wisconsin boxing.
And you can probably hear a boxing award given to announcer Lauren Bailey for his dedication to the sport and his contributions to amateur boxing.
Actually, I learned a lot from him. Two-time state champion, former Navy state champion, former professional boxer, having competed against the likes of Mike Tyson, George Foreman, Tommy Morrison, and Marvin Frazier, and having only seen the canvas once in his life, former head boxing coach of Wisconsin Rapids for 2 years, now a coach at the Madison Muscle and Fitness Gym, Steve Zalski.
And another boxing award given to Steve Zalski, as I said earlier, formerly from Wisconsin Rapids, and now the coach of the Madison Club.
And last but not certainly least, Mr. Boxing himself, of our boxing roster, two-time state champion, former member of the national renowned Milwaukee Bomber boxing team, 60 amateur bouts, 17 years as the head boxing coach of Central Wisconsin, twice invited to the Colorado Springs Olympic Games as a certain coach, and the personal mentor at many Wisconsin Rapids young men, Wayne Brown.
And another award, well-deserved for his contributions to the young men of the area and to boxing in central Wisconsin, given to Wayne Brown. Congratulations, Wayne. Congratulations, Lauren. Congratulations, Steve Zalski. Now the tables are turned.
Day one, a few of us
And another award given to Ken Hilgers for his dedication and his contributions to the area boxing. Ken Hilger is proclaimed by Wayne Brown as being the backbone of the Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club. So Ken finally receives his due also. Congratulations to Ken Hilgers. Ken had an illustrious amateur career. He was a tough guy to fight in the ring. He was known for his tough chin and his rock-hard hands. He was the 1974 state champ. He had some memorable fights in his career. In card in Wisconsin Rapids, about 25 years ago, he knocked out state champ Steve Magistro from Madison. Magistro was still a little cuckoo half hour after the bout, but as a memorable bout, not only amongst the Wisconsin Rapids fans, but Madison people are still talking about it. As a matter of fact, it was brought up tonight. So that was one of Ken's memorable fights. Another war that Ken had, matter of fact, two of them were with John Martin from the Neopit Indian Reservation. John Martin was a nationally renowned Indian boxer and a hero on the Neopit Reservation. And John Martin and Ken Hilgers had some wars. As a matter of fact, when Ken Hilgers went to fight John Martin in Neopit, he was just about as popular as John Martin was. Ken Hilgers, well-known boxing personality throughout the state of Wisconsin. Congratulations for a well-deserved award. By the way, John Martin and Ken Hilgers went 1-1 in their careers. What wars they were, too. Jordan Donahue from Wisconsin Rapids in the ring now. 125-pounder up against Mike Moore from the Janesville Boxing Club. $125-pounders with a lot of action here beginning round one. Right hand by Moore. Mike Moore is a seasoned veteran. He's had 18 fights. Nice looking boxer from Janesville. Jordan Donahue giving a good account of himself so far here early in the first round. A lot of action. Both punchers punching steady for about a 5-second flurry there. Nice job of coming out of the clinch by Jordan Donahue. Wasn't really a clinch. Amateur boxers are not allowed to grab. Nice lead right hand by Mr. Moore. Nice lead right hand by Donahue himself. Left hook by Moore. A lot of action here in the center of the ring. Those punches appeared to be blocked. And that's where now round number one ends. This is Jordan Donahue's 12th fight. Talking to the coaches earlier, he has pretty good footwork, which he showed in round one, and a good body movement too. Jordan's record so far is 6-5. Throws a pretty stiff right hand. Last week, these two fighters fought, and they were 5 judges for that bout. And Jordan lost a 3-2 decision to Mike Moore. Now here they are, a week later, going at it again. And they do look pretty even so far, if the first round is any indication. A lot of times you don't want to pair a couple fighters up again the very next week, but when there's no one else to fight, no one else shows up, The matchmaker makes the bouts according to your experience and your how much you weigh. Tries to get as equal a bouts as possible. And for tonight's card, at least, this looks like to be a very good matchup. So the matchmaker made the fight, and they're proving us right. This is going to be an action-packed fight. The first part of the second round, and the first round is any indication. Jordan trying to show some movement. Trying to give Mr. Moore some angles. Ooh, nice right hand by Moore, another right. Good job using the left hand, though, to keep Jordan at bay by Mike Moore. Warning to both fighters for holding. You can't do that in amateur boxing without getting a warning. That keeps the action going. It's a good rule. Jordan Donahue showing some movement. Nice little flip. Came out with a little bit of 1-2. I don't think it scored from my angle, but good defense by Jordan Donahue. Jordan spins out of the corner and throws a couple punches. Looks good for the judges. Ooh, right hand that just missed by Jordan. Ooh, another right. That one caught Mike Moore on the side of the headgear. Good action-packed second round. This is the seventh bout of the evening. In the first bout, Andy Jackson from Manistee lost a decision to Nick Streamer from Oshkosh. In the second bout, Logan Hilgers in his first fight lost to Carlos Molina from Soaring Eagle Boxing Club. Then in 201-pound weight class, the heavyweights, Nick Phil from Oshkosh beat Dan Reed from Madison. Then at 147 and under, Sienna Bowman from Wisconsin Rapids evened the record 1-1 with a nice boxing exhibition over Cassie Weigel from Peshtigo. Mike Thunder, 139-pound bout, beat Brendan Connor from Marshfield. Nice boxing exhibition. Nate Wilsey beat Ken Nelson. And now we're up to Jordan Donahue and Mike Mansell, round number 3. Nice little left hook coming out. The clinch by Mike Moore. Jordan got warned for a little bit of holding. I like the way referee Dick Annam controls the bout. Looked like a right hand might have scored for Jordan Donahue. Ooh, nice lead right. Just grazed Moore's gloves. Nice little flurry. Moore going up and down with his punches. Nice flurry for Mike Moore. Timeout. The timekeeper will stop the clock. Looks like Mike Moore's headgear needs to be fixed. I was talking about the referee, and the referees are the sole authority in the ring, and it's their job to maintain control of the match from start to finish. And their foremost concern is the boxer's safety. For each match, he checks the boxer's attire to make sure it conforms, and Jordan's headgear didn't conform, so he got it fixed. Safety is number one. But we're seeing some good flurries from both these boxers. Jordan almost tripped over for referee Dick Hannum. You don't see that happen very much to a good referee. Dick just a little bit in the way. In round number 3 ends the way the whole fight began. Nice boxing match and a close boxing match between Mike Moore from Janesville out of the blue corner and Jordan Donahue from Wisconsin Rapids out of the red corner in the 125-pound class. Dick Hanneman collects the bout sheets and we'll see what the judges have to say in just a minute. Now, referee Dick Hanneman, as are all referees, are all powerful in the ring. What they say goes. And to maintain control, only 3 words are spoken by the referee in the ring, and they are stop, which means the stopping, and they say box when they want the boxers to begin, and when they're in a clinch and they want the boxers to step back, they say break, and that's used to break up any clinches. So if a boxer doesn't obey the referee immediately, he could be disqualified. And the referee uses his best judgment and stops the match anytime they think it's too one-sided. And like I said, this is a safety issue, and the referees are trained to do a good job. Also, any point in the match, the referee can consult the ringside physician, and the physician will offer any advice, and whatever the physician says goes. If the referee says this fighter cannot continue, the bout is stopped. Also, referee can disqualify a boxer, and with or without a warning, as a matter of fact. If the boxer acts aggressively towards the referee or delays in obeying a command. Well, just like last week in another close bout, Mike Moore scores a close decision over Jordan Donahue from Wisconsin Rapids.
It's 4, 8, 9, 3, 4, 8. Do we have one? If we have a winner, please come to ringside.
All boxing officials must be tested. They have different tests certain times of the year throughout the state, and timekeepers, judges, referees, and coaches must be tested. And even if you've already passed the test, you... We're talking about Dick Hannum just winning a 50-50 raffle.
It's $175.50.
Oh, now we got the IRS involved. Anyway, every 2 years.
Dick just said to give it, donate it to the Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club.
Every 2 years, coaches, timekeeper, judges, referees must be tested to renew their ability. And there's different levels of test. Your first test, you might be given a level 1 test, and your next, to become a better referee, you would be given a level 2 test. And probably, I would say, once you become a level 2 ref, you can referee more important matches. And I'm not sure of that, but it makes sense to me anyway. But they started that about 20 years ago. They started giving tests to all the officials. So everyone knows the rules, and we have, quite frankly, we have better control over every boxing event now. Now we're ready for one of the last 2 bouts. This promises to be a good one. We'll have some 165-pounders in the ring, Out of the red corner, Paul Stevens from Soaring Eagle Boxing Club. His opponent will be Raul Romero from Madison Muscle and Fitness Boxing Club, coached by Steve Zowski. Referee checks both fighters, make sure they have all their safety equipment in place.
The next bout of the evening will be the 165-pound division. In the red corner, from the Soaring Eagle Boxing Club in Donahue, Wisconsin, Paul Stevens. And in the blue corner, from Muscle and Fitness Gym of Madison, Wisconsin, Raul Romero.
This fight should potentially be a good one. Paul Stevens from Soaring Eagle has had about 60 bouts. He's the national Indian champ. Miss Romero is the current novice state champ. So once you become a novice state champ, you move up into the open division. So you fight tougher competition as a rule. So this promises to be a good one. Both these fighters obviously very talented. Well, that was a round one that was fun to watch. Raul Stevens out of the red corner from Soaring Eagle, and Raul Romero from the Madison Muscle and Fitness in the blue corner. I talked a little bit about some of the fouls in former bout, and some of the common fouls boxers get cautioned for are hitting below the belt, holding, kicking or striking an opponent with anything besides the white of the glove, lying against the ropes too much or using them unfairly. You can't use foul language in the ring. You must break on command. You cannot behave aggressively towards the referee. And you have to defend yourself, or that is called a foul. And round two begins. Romero with nice 1-2 to the body.
So far, it looks like a couple of evenly matched fighters. They've obviously both had a lot of bouts. Nice hook by Romero. Some clinching. Referee about ready to step it in, but they fought out of it. Romero warned for holding inside. Stevens doing a little holding. Both fighters doing a little holding. Opposite the referee, though. Sometimes your hands get trapped around the other guy and you can't pull them out. But in this case, he's being warned. He's being 1 point assessed against Raul Romero of Madison for holding. Could prove quite costly, as this looks like to be a pretty close fight. Stevens now with Romero backed up against the ropes. A lot of action in round number 2. Sometimes you can sense a little bit of electricity in a bout, like in other sporting events where you know that there's a couple fighters in the ring that are a little bit better at what they're doing than some other fighters. They're pretty evenly matched, and anything can happen at any time. This is one of those bouts, I think. And Mr. Hannum did in that bout when he took a point away. What he did was he made a recommendation to the judges and to penalize the offending boxer by deducting a point. And then the judges have to decide themselves whether or not they agree with the referee, and they make that notation on the scorecard. So, and they do that by awarding a J to a boxer they think has fouled excessively. Both fighters obviously in pretty good shape. They've been going pretty hard for 2 rounds. Looks like the 3rd round's going to begin and end the same way. Romero with a nice lead. Stevens now get Romero backed up into a corner. Paul Stevens showing just a little bit more boxing ability here in the third round. Romero mainly fighting with his back to the rope so far in round number 3. Romero is swinging widely, as is his reputation, missing with a couple shots to Stevens. Both boxers holding arms up like, I'm not holding. Oh, big left hook by Raul Romero. Knocks Paul Stevens down. Stevens is staring at the count of 8. The referee's going to look and see if he can continue. That's it, says referee Dick Hannum. Just when it looked like Paul Stevens was taking control of the fight, Raul Romero from Madison connected with a big left hook right on the button. What a turn of events, and this is one of those matches that I just got done talking about where something big could happen at any time, and by golly it did. This will probably be called RSC, or referee stops the contest, and that occurs when the referee thinks the boxer is
is unable to continue, and in that case, that's what happened in this round. It could also happen if one of the boxers is injured or receives an 8 count 3 times in one round or 4 times in a bout, whichever happens. It can also happen where a referee stops contest if one of the boxers get injured. But in this case, it was big left hook right on the button by Raul Romero from the Madison Boxing Club. You can see Dr. David Friends from Marshfield making sure that Mr. Stevens is all right. I'm sure it's a heartbreaking loss for Raul Stevens coming in as the national Indian champ and having 60 bouts under his belt. But when you're as good as Mr. Stevens is, you're also going to step up in competition. And Mr. Romero, of course, obviously proved to be a formidable opponent. Boxers show good sportsmanship by congratulating each other, congratulating the corners.
Referee stops contest. Box out of the blue corner.
Raul Romero out of the blue corner wins by RSC, or referee stops contest.
Madison regular world champion Eric Morrell. Also Steve Zelsky, former trainer from Wood County Boxing Club.
Well, that was the first bout of the night that wasn't decided by the judges' scorecards. Next up will be our other feature bout of the night, and it's going to be heavyweights, the big guys. Jeremiah O.J. Newberry from the Rapids Boxing Club against Tony Magnuson from the Oshkosh Boxing Club.
With now turned professional, come to the center of the ring. Harry Funmaker from the Soaring Eagles Boxing Club, and Lyle Hoffman, who boxes in the squared circle. Both these gentlemen come up through the amateur ranks, and they are now professionals. Harry Funmaker, he started in the fight. Lyle Hoffman was on his way.
Mr. Bailing acknowledging a couple former amateur fighters that became professionals.
The final bout of the evening will be the 200-pound division. In the red corner, from Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club, Jeremiah Newberry. And in the blue corner, from the Oshkosh Boxing Club, Tony Magnuson.
Jeremiah Newberry out of the red corner from Rapids. Tony Magnuson, who actually fights a weight class up in the super heavyweight fight out of Oshkosh. Round number 1. Definite weight advantage to Magnuson as he comes in with some punches, backs Newberry up into the ring, up into the ropes. Newberry with a 1-2 and another 1-2 and a 1. Magnuson backs him up. Newberry, though, jabbing as he backs up, scores a couple times. Magnuson's going to try to bull Newberry a little bit, use his weight to his advantage. Newberry's going to try to stick with his jab and score with straighter punches. Newberry comes in measuring with a couple jabs. Both boxers trading punches over there now in the opposite corner. Newberry with a nice right hand lead. Scored on at least one of those punches, I do believe. Magnuson showing some pretty good ability for a super heavyweight. Who misses a big round on left hook that Newberry was glad that he was out of the way of. Newberry throws a right at the bell. Pretty action-packed round number one for heavyweight Jeremy Newberry and super heavyweight Tony Magnuson. O.J. Newberry has been boxing for 5 years. He is last year's novice state champ in the heavyweight division, so good job for Jeremy Newberry. You can see cornermen Kelly Anderson and Ken Yogers giving some advice to Jeremy Newberry. Seconds out, says the timekeeper. Round number 2. Ooh, nice 1-2 by Jeremy. Left hook by Jeremy. Now Jeremy backs Magnuson and into the ropes. Ooh, Magnuson comes in, takes a right hand from Newberry. Magnuson, though, unfazed. Jeremy with a left hook. Jeremy O.J. Newberry having his way with the bigger Magnuson right now. One-two blocked by Magnuson. Newberry still scoring with that left hand. Good scoring by Jeremy Newberry. That's got to impress the judges. There's a good flurry by Jeremy. OJ scoring now and scoring on bunches. Oh, we could see that left hook playing his day. Great camera work. Down goes Magnuson. Referee stops the contest. Jeremiah Newberry took over in round number 2. Referee stops the contest. Your winner out of the red corner will be Jeremy Newberry. That concludes our boxing card for the night. But I'd like to wish a special 21st happy birthday to Kendra Hilgers. Tomorrow Kendra is 21, so happy birthday, Kendra Hilgers. And no, we're not going to sing to you. I'll go through the bouts quickly. There were 9 of them tonight. In bout number 1, Andy Jackson from Manistee, Michigan lost to Nick Streamer from Oshkosh in a heavyweight bout. At 56 pounds, Carlos Molina from Soaring Eagle Boxing Club won a decision over Logan Hilgers, who fought his first bout ever. In the 201-pound weight class, then Nick Thill from Oshkosh scored a decision over Dan Reed from Madison. Then the Lake Gals took over. Sienna Bowman, in only her second amateur boxing match, won a hard-fought decision over Cassie Weigel from Peshtigo. Good job, Sienna Bowman. Then Mike Thunder from Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club in the 139-pound class beat Brendan Connor from the Marshfield Boxing Club. Next, Nate Wilsey in the 139-pound class beat Ken Nelson from Milwaukee. Mike Moore then from Janesville beat Jordan Donahue from Wisconsin Rapids in a 125-pound bout. Then Raul Romero, who was behind in the fight, I do believe, came up with a big left hook and floored Raul Stevens from the Soaring Eagle Boxing Club in the third round. And then the biggest guys, heavyweight Jeremiah Newberry came on strong in round number 2 and ended it with a big left hook to the jaw of super heavyweight Tony Magnuson from Oshkosh and won the super heavyweight bout. So a fine display, good boxing card by boxers from all around the state, hosted by Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club. This has been Pat Buzza on the mic. Jerry Reyes on the video doing some HBO quality work. Thanks also to River City's Community Access for bringing us this boxing card. And we hope you all enjoyed it. Have a good night.